Tatra ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Let us all stand as we begin with our beautiful Shri Krishna Arati. Sound 1-1. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatya Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jai Shri Radha Radha Radha. Om Jai Shri Krishna Krishna Krishna. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. Om Jai Shri Radha Radha Radha. Om Jai Shri Krishna Krishna Krishna. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. चंद्रमुखी चंचल चित चोरी सुगर सावरा सूरत बोरे श्याम श्यामा एक से जोरे श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः. ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा. ओम जय श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Radha Shri Radha Bhav Bharahari Sankat Mochan Krishna Murari Ek Shakti Eki Adhari Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. Om Jai Shri Radha Radha Radha. Om Jai Shri Krishna Krishna Krishna. Shri Radha Radha Krishnaya Namah. Kasturi Kasturi Kumkum Juta Binda चंदन चारु तिलक ब्रज चंदा सर्गलादले लाल सुनंदा. श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः. ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा. ओम जय श्री कृष्ण श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः. श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः. Shrimanarayan Narayan Narayan 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 Lakshmi Narayana. Shriman Narayana 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 Shriman
Narayana Narayana Narayana
Shriman Narayana 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 Shriman Narayana 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 Lakshmi Narayana 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 Lakshmi Narayana Narayana Narayana. All glories to the Divine Lord Bhagavan Govinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. आसन लीजिए सब लोग. Let us all take our seats. As we begin this wonderful morning, my dear friends, our final session of devotion, as we take this moment to conclude our beautiful Gyaan Yagna, on behalf of our wonderful Mother Rajmani, on behalf of Chalisa, Tropical TV, we take this golden opportunity once more, and on behalf of the members of this wonderful mandir, along with our Gurudev, Pandit Vishnu, we say Swagatam, Namaskar karta hu sab log, to all bhaktas, to all devotees. Once more to each and everyone who have come from far and near to join with us, we say Namaskar, Swagatam and Jai Sitaram. To the members of my wonderful group as well, we especially send our love and our blessings to them. And to each and everyone who's tuned in on this most beautiful morning via Facebook, we especially welcome you to our Yajna. As we begin, my friends, this wonderful morning, let me invite everybody at this time to sit upright. Let us close our eyes. Let us forget the world. And as we're about to join in prayer, we say, Lord, as humble bhaktas and devotees taking this moment to pray and to worship you, to invite and to invoke your energy into our lives, we pay salutations as we begin with Omkara 3 times. Mahakaya Suryakote Samaprabha Nirvighanam Kurume Deva Sarvakajeshu Sarvada Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Durga Rupena Sanstita Namastasya, Namastasya Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Sanstita Namastasya, Namastasya Namastasya Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Saraswati Rupe Na Sanstita Namastasya 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 नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा हरे रामा राम राम हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। All together with love. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। As we begin our beautiful morning, my friends, there's no better way and no greater way to start our day, to set the pace for the rest of the week, the energy, the blessings of our Lord, than by chanting the beautiful 40 verses of Sri Hanuman Chalisa. As we start this morning, all together. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Rajam Nijamana Mukura Sudhari Varna Raghuvara Vimala Jasu Jodaya Kupalachari Buddhihina Tanu Janiki Sumiro Pavana Kumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Arhu Kalisha Vikar. All together, Pavana Sudha Hanuman ki Jai. Mangala Bhavana Amangala Hari Dravahu Sudasharata Ajara Vihari Sukha Karta Jai Jai Hanumanta Dukha Harta Jai Jai Hanumanta जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीशति हुलोक उजागर रामदूता तुलित बलधामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुरेशा कानन कुंडल कुंजित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराज कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान विद्यावान गुणियति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया मंगल भवन मंगल हारी तबौ सुदशरथ अजर विहारी सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता सुख हरता जय जय हनुमंता सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता सुख हरता जय। रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति के भी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मुखि भरतहि सम भाई सहस वदन तुम रोज सगावे अस कैसे पटिकंत लगावे सर्गाधिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित ईसा यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाति कवि को विद कही सके कहाते, तुम पुकार सुग्रीव कीना, राम मिलाय राज पर दीना, मंगल भवन मंगलहारी, तब सुदशरथ अजर विहारी, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख करता बोले जय बजरंगबली। मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय, तब जग जाना युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लील्युताहि मधुर पल जानु, प्रभु मुद्रिका मिल मुख माई, जल दिलांग गए अचर जनाई, दुर्गम का जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे देते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु बैसारे, सब कला है तुम्हारे शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज समारो आपै, तीनों लोक हांकते कापै, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, मंगल भवन मंगलहारी, जब सुदशरथ अजर विहारी, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख करता सुख करता जय जय श्री राम। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। रोग हरय सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा, संकट के हनुमान चुरावै, मधुरम वचन ध्यान जो लावै, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, इनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार, साध संत के तुम रखवार, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, मंगल भवना मंगलहारी, नभो सुदशरथ अजर विहारी, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख हरता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख हरता। Everybody बोलिए, all salutations to Lord Hanuman. तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै, जन्म जन्म की दुख बिसरावै, अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाय, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय, और देवता चित्त न डरहि, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करहि, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरय हनुमत बलबीरा, जय 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 बो जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाय, जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, सुतहि बंदे महासुख होई, जो यहाँ पर हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साके गौरीसा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, जयनाथ हृदय महाधीरा, मंगल भवन मंगलहारी, तब सुदशरथ अजर विहारी, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख हरता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख हरता जय जय हनुमंता, सुख कर करता जय जय हनुमंत सुख करता जय जय हनुमंत सुख करता जय जय हनुमंत सुख करता करता जय जय हनुमंता दुख हरता जय जय हनुमंता सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता दुख हरता जय जय हनुमंत सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता दुख हरता जय जय हनुमंत सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता सुख हरता जय जय हनुमंत सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता दुख हरता जय जय हनुमंत सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता दुख हरता जय जय हनुमंत सुख करता जय जय हनुमंता सुख हरता जय जय हनुमंता पवन तनय संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बजरंग बली की On this most beautiful morning, my dear friends, as we take the opportunity to worship the Divine Lord, today is the day that is dedicated to Bhagwan Surya Narayan Swami. It is also a day dedicated to Shri Krishna. And that is why our message is taken from the golden pages of Bhagavatam, where we worship Bhagwan Gopal, Lord Govinda. But as we always do, and for the past 2 nights and even this morning, in order to set the mind, the pace of the mind and the energy, to forget the whole world, to lock out all the negativities of the world, and to intake this beautiful knowledge, we join in a chant. But as we touch the top of our scripture, it is said one day, Bhagwan Krishna, he's walking alongside his divine love, Radharani, and they are going into the forest. It is said whenever Shri Krishna would walk into the forest, he will take out his basuri. I see this morning we have Panditji with this beautiful basuri. Beautiful basuri wala. Whenever Shri Krishna is about to enter, let's give him a round of applause there. Beautiful. It is said whenever Shri Krishna wants to charm the world, he will walk by himself and he will pull out the basuri and will start to blow. In order to charm the world, you walk by yourself, but your love must be pure. There's so much significance when we speak of a basuri. You see the mere instrument in itself? The wind and the air must pass through the entire pipe in itself. It must be hollow enough. The hollow, my friends, symbolizes simplicity of an individual. We must never be filled with the ahankar, the ego, the lust, the greed, the temptations, but be hollow on the inside and allow God alone to reside there. So that the tunes that will emanate from your lips and from your actions will always be as sweet and as beautiful as the basuri. Whenever Shri Krishna wants to charm the world, he will walk through the villages and he will head to the forested path. And whoever hears the tune of the basuri, they will drop everything and they will follow. According to Bhagavatam, Shri Krishna, he says, while walking through the streets of Mathura, Vrindavan, Gokul, it is said devotees will simply be carrying along their lives with their daily austerities. And when they hear the flute, they drop everything. Are you willing to drop everything for God this morning? Every day in your life, we hold on to so many things. Our job, our careers, our home, our children, our family, the work at home, the problems in your life. We hold on to everything and we worry unnecessarily. We have so much responsibilities of the world, yes, but we hold on so close that the responsibilities become a part of us and we don't know how to create that space for time for ourselves when we are ready to. Not so, Mom? You would know that, right? Shri Krishna, he blows the basuri, and when he walks, everybody drops everything and they will follow him. It is said if the mothers are in their kitchen and they are making roti or they are making chapati for their husband, they will leave it right there. They will leave it right. They will stop and hear the basuri and they will leave it right at the bond. And they will walk away and they will go outside and they will glance Shri Krishna walking and they will just open the door and start walking outside. It is said sometimes the wives will be massaging the feet of their husband and all of a sudden they hear the sound of the basuri and they stop. Wait right there, wait. That's it. Leave husband right there and gone. Some of them, they're doing their chores and they hear the tune of the basuri. When you hear the tunes of God, drop everything and be there. We had so many devotees come last night and the night before, and we commend them and we send love and blessings to all of them. But the extra effort to get up this morning, kya baat. To all those who are here, special blessings to you. For taking the time and the effort just to be here. Because it says when you hear the name of God being chanted, drop everything and be there. When I look at the faces of so many people who would have met me along the nights, I know some of you drove very far just to get here. And that in itself, it says God helps those who help themselves. That extra effort counts. We might think, you know what, sometimes it's the bigger picture, the bigger things that will create the blessings in our lives, but it is the little things that will create the miracles. And you may not see it today, or this afternoon, or tomorrow, but one day when you really need that blessing, and it sparks up, you say, wow, what did I do to deserve it? It starts now. This morning we will join in a chant to our Lord, Bhagavan Krishna, and while he walks into the forest, the tune of the Basuri emanates the entire forested region. And when he's walking, his beloved will always hear that tune and she will walk with him. And while he's blowing, she will put her hands on his shoulder. And she will put her hands around his waist. And she will just stare at him. She will look at him and she will just stare right there. She is Radharani. And while we go into the forest, listen, we join in this chant and then we join our scripture. Everybody all together? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Bolo. Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Kya baat? Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. So I want to hear a special voice this morning from everybody. Let me tell you what kind of voice. When you get angry, how you just quarrel? Yeah. When you get angry, everybody hears you, right? The neighbor hears you and everybody around you hears your voice. This morning we went to use that voice to sing for God. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Pavan Sudha Hanuman ki. All together. Hare Krishna. Kya baat? Ati sundari hai. Krishna. Jai Govinda. Hare Rama Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Girivardhari, Jai Radha. क्या बात? जय Jai Bhagwan. Adesh and Rietesh, they song so good we could pack up and go now. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. All together we sing Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Where the hands this morning? Jai Govinda! Hari! Yashodanandana Vrajajana Randana, Yashodanandana Vrajajana Randana. Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Girivardhari Jai Radha Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare All together, bowling. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Go! Come on! Go! Jai Govinda! Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama Rama, Hare Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. On our beautiful message this morning, my dear friends, taken from the golden pages of Bhagavatam, we speak about the divine Lord who is none other than Bhagavan Gopal, Shri Krishna. It is said Shri Krishna walked into the forest blowing his basuri. Alongside him is Radha Rani, and on that particular day, it is said he stayed for the entire day blowing the basuri and his sweet tunes for the world. After walking through the streets and ending up now into the forest, one person came along, two people came, 4 and 5 started to follow, and at the end of it, he's sitting on a rock. He's sitting next to Radharani. She's looking at him and she's simply placing her head on his shoulder. And he has a whole crowd of people. All the gopis and all the gopas of Vrindavan, they have taken now themselves out of their homes. They have dropped everything and they have gone to the Divine Lord and they are sitting at His feet. How fortunate are we to be sitting at the feet of all the deities. I will say it again, I mentioned this the last time when I was in Guyana. I know many devotees, when you go to mandirs and yagyas, many of us, we are ready to take the chair on the back seat. No offense to all the people on the chair. But it is indeed a blessing. Maybe if you're having some back problem, or whatever the case, and you're there, it's okay. But when you sit at the feet of the deities, when you sit down on the ground and you're sitting there and you're touching the earth, when you're actually feeling that ground, as we say, you're grounded, the energy and the vibrations of God, it multiplies. When you sit flat and you fold your feet in this beautiful asana, this meditative posture, you are creating continuity of the energies of the earth that is continuing in the body itself. The body consists of the 5 elements, and when we sit on the ground, the earth connects with the 5 elements. When someone dies, the 5 elements goes back to where it has come from. When someone dies, what is the first element that goes back? Anybody? Not the soul. What's the element? The air. As soon as somebody died, the first element that goes, they stop breathing. What is the second element that goes? We have a prize this morning. The second element that goes is, first the air goes, they stop breathing, and then the heat, fire goes. They start to feel cold. The body gets cold rather. When the body becomes cold, air has gone, fire has gone, the warmth of the body has gone. The third that goes is water. Fluids start leaking from the eyes, the nostrils, the mouth, the ears. Air, fire, water. You take the body to the cremation site and now it's about to be burnt. If it's in the crematorium or if it's on the pyre on the outside, it is said air and space goes back to where it is. On earth, the ashes are taken. At the end of it, it is taken to the holy waters and it is placed on the ground. It is placed into the holy streams, Ganga, or the holy rivers, or the rivers and the streams that are around your area where you live. It is said the air will leave, the fire will leave, the water will go, earth will go back to earth, and through the burning process, space goes back into space. And from there, the 5 elements will then dissipate itself. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, when you sit on the ground, you're connecting with Mother. You're connecting with the earth. We come from a mother, and we will go back to a mother. It is said, while we will sit on the ground like we are today, the energies will be now re-energizing our entire being. Bhagavan Krishna sits, and he takes the basuri, and he's sitting on the rock. And some of the gopis, they sit down on the ground, just like we are today. It is so beautiful when everybody sits, so that the energy connects. And they're listening to the beautiful tune of the Lord, and suddenly the Lord stops for a second and he looks at Radha. The afternoon is about to dawn, and he sees the beautiful moonlight. And when he sees the moonlight, he says, Radha, Hare, you look so beautiful. He says, Radha, you look so beautiful. And when he tells her that, she says, what else? Radha, you look so nice today. What else, Kanha? And he's trying to find words. What are the lyrics that the boys use? Rietesh? What are the lyrics they use today? You're the chana in my doubles. Jai Bhagavan. Bhagavan Krishna didn't know what to say. You know what he said? He says, Radha, you look bright and beautiful like the moon in the sky. You're like a full moon today. And she stopped for a second and said, a full moon? And she watched herself and she said, a full moon? Kana, are you telling me I look like a full moon? Even the moon has flaws. And if you say a full moon, are you trying to tell me I'm mota? What is mota? Yeah. Kanha, you know what? Think about it. I will come back and decide if I really want this. She got up and she says, Kanha, I can't believe you call me like the moon, full moon. Not even any ordinary moon. Today I feel so hurt. I feel so disrespected. You know, sometimes in the world that we live in today, you have to be so careful how you speak to people. You have to be so careful what you say. How the saying goes? It is not what you say, but how you say it. Sometimes you commend someone. Sometimes you look at someone and you give them a good critic, Yeah, you look good, that piece of kurta, look the thing that on the side. And they say, oh God, he will see that part of it, boy. Sometimes you tell people the best things in the world and they take it differently. And while you see the best, they see the worst of it. Sometimes you see people in life, in your home, in your family, in your circle, and you commend someone or you tell them the greatest thing about themselves, but because they are not happy with who they are, they will find a problem with it. Shri Krishna is only speaking from his heart. He is thinking that the moon is bright and it shines everywhere, and he's trying to say, Devi, you're glowing and you're beautiful. And what does she think? So I fought. Literally I fought, Kanha. I am a full moon. And she gets up and she's about to walk away. She says, Kanha, I feel hurt today. And because I feel hurt, I think I need some time. And Kanha says, but Devi, and he pulls out the basuri, and before he could put it, she says, Kanha, don't play it. Don't try to now bring me back here with your magic, the magic of the basuri. Jadu badiya basuri, bajaya na karo. She says, Kanha, I will walk away. And he looks and everybody's looking. And she gets up and she starts to walk and she climbs up the mountain that is not far. And she's going up to a little hut that is at the top of the mountain. And while she's going, Kanha looks at her and he says, but Radha, please don't go. Mat jao na. I will feel hurt. Don't leave me here. If God leaves you, how will you feel? Imagine if God is not in your life, what will happen to you? With God in your life, do you know how blessed you are? Do you know how many people went to sleep last night and never got up this morning? Do you know how many people left home yesterday to go somewhere and never returned in the world? Do you know how many people went to sleep happy and comfortable and woke up this morning realizing that they're not feeling well? I just heard recently one of my family member, not very, very close, but one of my family member, he wasn't feeling well, woke up one morning and just went to the doctor to check up and realized he had cancer. How many people go to sleep and wake up and realize that the worst is here? You don't appreciate the days while you have it. We don't appreciate the moments while we have it. We don't appreciate the people in our lives while we have them. The saying goes, you never miss the water till the well runs. Appreciate the people in your life. Shri Krishna says, Devi, Radha, before you leave me here alone, do you remember the day when you spoke to me? Didn't you say that you cannot be separated from me? Why are you leaving? Radha says, Kanha, shh, I will come back when I'm ready. And he calls out to her. What does Radha say one day? Patte patte me Radha, phoola phoola me Shyam, वही है ब्रज की भूमि, वही है गोकुल. What did she say? Kanha, if you are the rose, patte patte me Radha, pula pula me Shyam. If you are the flower, I am the leaf that supports that flower. You can never separate us. Chanda bani hai Radha, wo chandani hai Shyam. Can you ever separate the moonlight from the moon? Can you ever separate the sunlight from the sun? She says like this, nobody can separate us. Kanha is saying, do you remember the day you said that to me? Why are you leaving? And he calls out to her like this. Patte patte me Radha, phoola phoola me Shyam, vahi hai braj ki bhumi. पत्ते पत्ते में राधा, फूल फूल में श्याम, वही है ब्रज की भूमि. बनी है राधा, वो चांदनी है श्याम. चंदा बनी है राधा, वो चांदनी है शाम। सूरज बनी है राधा, वो रोशनी है। पत्ते पत्ते में राधा, फूल फूल में शाम। वही है ब्रज की भूमि, वही है गोकुल धाम। क्या Everybody बोलो जय श्री राधे। बंसी बनी है राधा, तू मधुर तन है श्याम। बंसी बनी है राधा, तू मधुर तन है श्याम। श्री बनी है राधा, तू प्राण बनी है। पत्ते पत्ते में राधा, फूल फूल में वही है
ब्रज की भूमि,
वही है राधे। क्या बात, जय गोविंदा। भगवान श्री कृष्ण, it is said Bhagwan Gopal, he gets up and he walks up to Radha and he tries to grab her by the hand. Hare Radha, mat jao na. And she turns around, she says, Kanha, I feel hurt. I thought I was everything to you, but you've hurt my heart today. Kanha is saying, Devi, don't take the littlest things to heart. You'll be stressed out. Don't think the simple things to heart. It is not nice. And she says, okay, when I'm ready, I will come back. And she goes up now to the Parvat. She goes into this little hut and her friend lives there. She knocks on the door, and when the door opens, her friend's name is Lalita. She says, Lalita Didi, if I tell you what Kanha said to me today. And she enters and they close the door and Kanha is standing not too far, and before he could call out, the door is shut and she's on the inside. He says, you know what, no problem. He walks up and he sits on the side where he can see the doorway. And he will wait for her to come back out. And while he's waiting, listen. कृष्ण प्रेम है राधा, तू राधा प्रेम है श्याम। कृष्ण प्रेम है राधा, तू राधा प्रेम है। हर सुख पाए मानव जो इनको परे। पत्ते पत्ते में राधा, फूल फूल में श्याम। वही है ब्रज की भूमि, वही है गोकुल धाम। पत्ते पत्ते में राधा, फूल फूल में श्याम। वही है ब्रज की भूमि, वही है गोकुल धाम। वही है ब्रज की भूमि, वही है गोकुल धाम। वही है ब्रज की भूमि, वही है। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। Shri Krishna walks up to the doorway, he sits down and he says, well, she will come back just now. He lets her go in and he sits and he's waiting now. Radha is upset with me, so I will sit here. It is said suddenly some of his cowherd friends, they would come. His brother would come. The brother of Kanha is Balaram. Balaram would come. Some of the cowherd boys, they would come. Hare Kanha, what did you do? Did you have to say something, Kanha? Sometimes when we speak and we realize the problems come, we say, best I didn't say anything. Not so? He sat down and he says, it's best I had played my tune. Just let it be. But he sat there and he's waiting. And about 1 hour passes. And about 2 hours are passing. And about 3 and about 4. And he's saying, but is Radha so upset? How long does it take you to cool down when you're upset? How many people here this morning get angry? Rietesh, put up your 2 hands, not 1. How many people get angry here? Let me see. How many people have a temper? 2 hands. Jai Narayan. Rietesh, pop your foot, boy. How long does it take you to cool down when you're upset? How long does it take you to become calm after you're upset? When you get upset, who's hurt? You are. I can't remember, a long time I didn't ask this question. How much muscles does it take to show a frown face and an angry face? And how much muscle does it take to have a smile? Anthony? How much muscle does it take to create a frown face? Everything. Jai Narayan. You ever see somebody when they're angry? Jai Bhagwan, don't look. How much muscles does it take for someone to smile? One. When you become angry, the body becomes tense. It is said a person with an angry attitude, a person who worries a lot, a person who stresses a lot, it is said if something were to happen to them medically and they go to the theater, they will take longer to recover compared to a person who has a feisty spirit. Because the body is more tense than the person who's relaxed. Never take on too many worries in the world, because today, and especially in today's world, the worries are bringing the worst sickness that you can think about. I always remember the example of a mother back home in Trinidad who I did satsang for. When I was doing the satsang, the mother was happy. She danced for the satsang. She sang. She had a good time. She enjoyed everything to the best. And I remember when we were about to eat after satsang, I said, Mom, how are you doing? She says, Baba, I'm so happy. I'm good. Nothing is wrong. She said, Panditji, I am 67 or something like that. Panditji, I'm 60 something years old. And today, I don't use glasses. I don't need a hearing aid. I have no health conditions. I am top of the line. I'm good. And I said, Mommy, keep it up. It didn't take 1 month after when I got a call from the mother and she was crying. And she says, Panditji, the one son that I have in my home, he came home one day and he picked up somebody in his life. And when he picked up that person in his life, he came home one day and he packed his bag and he left. And I called him and I begged him to come back home, and he yelled at me, he shouted at me. I don't know where he stays. I don't know how long he's going to stay out for. I don't know, but when I call him, he yells at me. And the language he uses at me, Panditji, I feel so hurt. Every day now I sit and I cry. 1 month after being the top of the world, she sits and she cries. 3 months after, I got a call from her. She says, Panditji, I don't feel well anymore. I'm going into the doctor's office. 1 month after that, she was diagnosed with cancer. And 2 weeks after that, she passed away. Let me tell you, stress creates any sickness in the world. When the body is tense, it cannot function properly. When the body is tense, it cannot work as it is supposed to be at 100%. And all this sickness and illness and all the negativities of the world will crash down on you. Be jolly. Be happy. Enjoy life. As we say, one day to live, it doesn't mean that you live negatively. Live with discipline and with a character that when people look at you, they can say, wow, him, that is a good person. Her, she's a good person. They can put that hand and say, you know what, I know that person well, like our mom who sits here. When she sits and she sits there, she's smiling throughout. They call me Smiley Baba, the Smiley Mommy. Be calm and composed and enjoy it as it flows, not so? When you overstress in the world, you're creating negativity in your life, and you won't believe it, that point of stress will bring everything bad in your life, and before you know it, that's it. Everything crumbles from there. Shri Krishna is saying, why is Radha so upset? So much hours have passed and she's still there. You see, one day, when Bhagwan Shankar Bholenath sat in Kailash Parvat, Lord Shiva, he turned to that mother and he says, Devi, every single day you're having some problem or the other. Devi, relax, calm. And the mother says, how can I calm down? And Lord Shiva shows a representation. Have you ever dreamed in a dream, you go to sleep and you start dreaming water? A river? A waterfall? Something with water? Do you know what it means when you dream water? You wake up one day and you call the Pandit, Panditji, I dream I was in a flood. Panditji asks you first thing, how was the water? Was it clear or was it dirty? And you say probably it's clear or maybe it's dirty. When you dream water, when you're associated with water and you dream water, water represents your emotions. If you dream that the water was very dirty, it means that something is going on in your life and your emotions are clouded. Something is up and you're not sure what to do. Maybe you're going through a rough time and emotionally you're not sure what to do. The dirty water symbolizes that. And if you dream crystal clear, nice clean water, it symbolizes now purity, cleansing. Something good is about to happen. Something good is coming in your path. So the water in itself shows something good. Today, when Parvati Mata looked at Prabhu Shankar Bholinath, she says, Prabhu Shankar, how should I calm down? And he says, Devi, just like the Ganga that flows. It says, Juta Jata me Ganga dhari Trishula dhari Damaru baja. Everybody, Juta Jata me Damaru baja. Om Namah, Om Namah, Hari Om Namah, Hari Om Namah. Prem Susmapati Mahadeva ki. It is said, Prabhu Shankar, he says to be calm. Mom, today we are here with everybody and you are celebrating your Janmadin. While mommy is celebrating her Janmadin, today is the day we are celebrating for you. So the birthday is not today, but while we are celebrating, don't worry about many things in the world. Some mothers come and say, Panditji, it is a mother's nature to worry, to stress about everything, children, problems, job, situations, life, everybody else but themselves. Prabhu Shankar says, just like the Ganga that flows from his head, his jata, always be that representation of the emotions that will flow. Have it controlled and be calm. You know it will all work out for itself. Have your faith and dedicate yourself to God and let God take care of everything in your life. We can't just hold on to everything and expect it to work out. Let it go sometimes and let God be in charge. Prabhu Shankar, he turns to Devi and listen. Hey Tripurari, hey Gangadhari, Bhole Shankar, Bhasmarama, Bhakta Sahai hai Kailash ki Vasi, दिखा दो छवि अविनाशी, अकिया दर्शन की प्यासी, हे त्रिपुरारी, हे गंगाधारी. नित्य प्रति जो बोले बाबा को जावे, मंदिर में उनका ध्यान लगाए. नित्य प्रति जो बोले बाबा को जावे, मंदिर में उनका ध्यान लगाते. पुष्प चढ़ाते, भजन है गाती तेरी शंकर, पुष्प चढ़ाते, पुष्प चढ़ाते, भजन है गाती तेरी शंकर. सुन लो पुकार, करो उद्धार है कैलाश निवासी, दिखा दो छवि अविनाशी, ये तेरी भक्त राशि, अकिया दर्शन की प्यासी. हे त्रिपुरारी, हे गंगाधारे. संकट में जब भक्त पुकारे, पावन तेरा नाम उचारे. संकट में जब भक्त पुकारे, पावन तेरा नाम उचारे. संकट हरते हे सबके लीनेश्वर, संकट हरते संकट हरते हे सबके नीलेश्वर कर कल्याण रूप महान दिखाओ और वरदानी ये तेरे भक्त विलासी अकिया दर्शन की गासी दिखा दो तभी अव्यासी हे त्रिपुरारी हे गंगाधारी. So while my dear friends we are doing this beautiful bhajan, I heard mom you love this one, right? हो लाल मेरी पत्तल रखियो बाला झूले लाल हो लाल मेरी. Everybody bole. This morning while we are here worshipping the divine Lord, it is said Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he waits with all the love in the world and is waiting for Radharani. When you sit at the feet of God, always be patient for the love, for the devotion. Be patient in the world, be patient in life, my friends, because everything will come in its due course and due time. Everything happens for reason. Oh लाल मेरी पत्तल रखियो बाला झूले लाल हो लाल मेरी पत्तल रखियो बाला झूले लाल सिंदरी सेवन हाथ की कादा कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली रे पहले नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर सखी सा बाल कलंदर हो लाल मेरी As you worship in Bhagwan Gopal, the Lord sits there and is waiting, and time is passing by, and while he is waiting, he is losing his faith in the Divine Mother. Prem se Sumapati Mahadev ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Shri Krishna sits there, and the hours are passing by, and Radha is not coming out. Then after a few hours, he sees now the door shaking, is about to open. So he gets excited now. He's waiting so long. So you know what? He starts to fix himself. Radha is coming back. You know what? I need to show a good impression here now. So he waits. And while he's waiting, the door opens. But who comes out? The friend comes out. Lalita comes out. And when she walks outside, Kanha runs up to her. Are Devi, where's Radha? Lalita says, Kanha, Radha doesn't want to hear you right now. What do you mean she doesn't want to hear me? Doesn't she remember Patte Patte mein Radha? Lalita says, Kanha, she takes a moment to cool down. Let it be. But he can't stay away from her. Can you stay away from God? How long can you stay away from God for? So I'll tell you, sometimes people come to me and they say, Pandit, you know what? I think I need a break from the mandir. Jai Bhagavan. Imagine if God come and say, I want a break from you. Remember I said it on the first night? If God wills it and He snaps His finger, you can't wake up tomorrow. If God wills it and He says, you know what, tomorrow you'll not move a thumb, you will not be able to move it. Imagine if God decides to say, well, tomorrow I taken a break from you. What will happen to you? Jai Narayan. You know what will happen? Itna tu karna. Kya baat, a song in half there already. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Itna tu karna. Java nikale Govinda naam. The name of Govinda. Lekara. Take the name. Taba pran tan se. Take the name of God with every breath that you take. Don't just wait for the last moment and then say Prabhu. When you wait for the last moment, the God of that will come and it says that He will tie your tongue. Older people used to always say, you could live your life how you want. And when you're ready to die, you just say Krishna. And the Lord will come with a golden chariot and take you. But there's a saying, practice makes. If you don't keep chanting the name of God now, what makes you think on the last moment you'll do it? The God of death and along with His Yamduts, they're waiting for that moment because every day you live the rogus life. They're waiting when you're about to die and that breath is about to leave, that air is about to leave. They're waiting to tie that tongue and they want to hold you. Why? Because they want to punish you. Never in your life, every single day, our life depends on God. Never in your life allow ignorance of the mind or the heart to make you ever think, I need a break from God. I need a break from prayers. Look at our mother. It was just 2 weeks time, but she said, instead of one night, Panditji 3, don't worry, it will happen. Sometimes people have a little puja and they complain, well, I don't know how to get all these things done. It takes sacrifice, love for God, have the wanting for God. Do prayers because you want to do it, not because you have to do it. Do prayers because you want to pray. Pray to God because the heart says, I just want to feel that energy and I want to pray. Not because you didn't do it long time and you need to. Or not because somebody says you have to do something and you have to do a prayer. Pray because you want to. Let that be something that is instilled in your life. Shri Krishna is wondering, why isn't she coming out? How can she be separated from me for so long and she's okay? He says, Lalita, please tell her. And Lalita says, no, can't her wait. So she goes down the mountain and she goes and she sees some beautiful peacocks. And she gathers them, she takes a stick and she knocks it everywhere. And all the peacocks are coming together. And she allows them to march up the hill. And when they go now to the kutia, she opens the door and Kana is still waiting outside. And a whole line of peacock walking in. All the peacocks are going into the home. And when they go, she closes the door. And Kana stands and he's saying, what are they doing inside there? Why are they taking all the peacocks of the field and they're going inside? And Radha is not coming out. It hurts them. When will she come outside? So he sits with his friend, with all little friends, and while they're there, he takes out the basuri, and while he picks it up, he says, let me blow so that I can relax. He says, let me calm myself. When you think that things are going too much in your life, don't resort to bad things in the world. Some people go and they commit suicide. Some people go and they destroy themselves. Some people decide to intoxicate themselves. Some people decide to throw away their life literally. When you're going through the worst, sit in a corner like Mirabai and hold on to your murti and pray. Mira ko palan hai, आओ मेरे गिरिधारी, विश्व भर प्यारे को, विश्व भर प्यारे को अमृत में बनाना है. It says, सावरे से मिलने का सत्संग की बहाना है. चलो सत्संग ने चले, हमें हरि गुण गाना है. Let me tell you, there's no greater vibration than the vibration of satsang. Many people believe that we could sit in our home and we could pray by ourselves. No problem. When you pray from your heart and you pray by yourself, it is good. But when you enter the congregation of the devotees who are chanting, it is not about the people who are here and the Pundit and who came and who didn't come. It is not about the musicians and who could play and who could not play. Just to sit in the home of God, in the midst of the energy and the aura that is pervading, can create a miracle in your life. When I was in India, there were so many devotees who came to see Swamiji. And when they came to see Swamiji with all the problems they had, they just had to walk up to Swamiji and just look at him and just being in the ambience and the energy of him, suddenly they will get a phone call, something work out. Something happened. Something is going for the better. Just in the aura, the company you keep, the aura of the people you surround yourself with can either lift you or it can make you fall. If you surround yourself with the people who are positive, in no time you'll realize that you're starting to rise. Not positive for COVID, eh? Positive energy. A good attitude towards life. A motivated energy. An inspired feeling of life. If you're associated with that type of people, you will realize how fast you become motivated as well. And if you associate with people who are always down and negative and pulling down others, in no time you'll realize that you're just bending that head and moping around. Associate yourself with the right company. You don't need to maybe learn anything I said this morning. You don't need to understand the katha. You don't need to sing a bhajan or learn anything. But just by being here in the energy of God, it says, Chalo sata sangane chale. हमें हरि गुण गाना है. Just being in that energy, it is beautiful. सावरे से मिलने का. Do you know what, my friends? This morning while we're here, there's so much energy that is felt from all the murtis and the prayer and our mother and the vibration of God. When Hanumanji in Ramayana had gone to Lanka, Hanumanji stepped into Lanka and he saw all the demons and the Rakshasas living there. And you know what? He smelled the fragrance of Tulsi. And he said, Tulsi? Here? I doubt. What would a divine mother Tulsi be doing in Lanka when Lanka is a place that is filled with negative people? And he followed the scent and he walked up now to a path. And he saw Kutya with Vibhishan, and around the Kutya it was filled with Tulsi plants. And he walked up to Vibhishan and he says, how could the divine mother be living in a place like this where the place is negative? Where the place is filled with impurities? And you know what Vibhishan said? Vibhishan said, it is not about the mother who lives in a place that is impurified, but wherever the divine and purified mother goes, that place becomes purified. You all understand that? We can enter many places in the world and that place may be corrupt. But it is not about the place that will define you. It is you who will define that place. Don't go to the places around you that may be filled with temptations and fall into that category. But be a person of positive energy and that person of motivation, and wherever you go, take that with you and change the world. Ramayana says, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai. Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai. Everybody bolo. Jai Shri Ram. Everybody do it all together. Bole. Binu sat sanga vivekan hoy, Ram kripa binu sulabhan soy. Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya. Shri Ram
Jai Jai Rama.
Come on. Jai Shri Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Oh, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri
Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama.
क्या बात, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की. एक बार Shri Ram Jai Rama.
Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram
Jai Rama.
Jaya Jaya
Rama.
Jaya Jaya Rama. Jaya Jaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Bhagwan Krishna, he waits and nobody comes out. It is said night is dawn again now. Another day has passed. And while he's sitting there, he's uneasy. Suddenly the door is about to open again. And before the door could open, he says, you know what? I am Bhagwan Gopal. I am Lord of Maya. I am Lord of the world. I am the Lord who can create the illusions if I want to. A line goes like this. विष्णु के लक्ष्मी बनवती राजा के है डरती रानी माया तू भगनी हम जानी माया तू भगनी. The world is filled with maya, illusions, temptations. Don't fall a victim of the temptations of the world. You will fall if you run after it. The Lord says, if Radha wants to be like this, no problem. He goes and he stands on the top of the mountain and he snaps his finger. And when he snaps the finger, all the peacocks disappear. The door opens and Lalita comes out and she says, Kanha, wait now, wait. Radha is not ready to see you yet. Have patience. And she walks outside and she looks and she says, but Kanha, the reason why I'm taking the peacocks to Radha is because when Radha Rani sees the peacock, it cheers her up. She feels happy. She feels good. But I'm not seeing any peacock. Where is all the peacocks? And Shri Krishna says, I don't know. I think, check behind the trees. And he came up with an idea. Lalita, she goes down the Parvat and Kanha, magic. Jadu bariya basri bajaya na karo. It is said the Lord, he sees her going and there he goes now the back of the kutia and he allows the magic to take place. He transforms himself into a beautiful peacock. Lalita is coming up from the bottom of the hill. She saw no peacock that day. And while she's coming up, she saw one by a tree. And she says, oh, thank God, you know what? Where did Kanha go? Thank God he gone too. Well, be careful, you know. There are some people who will be happy when they see you, and there will be some people who will be happy when you leave. On that day, she didn't see Kanha. She said, thank God, because he's sitting here since last night. So she was happy. She looked at the peacock and she tried to now curb the peacock's way. And when she forced this one peacock, she entered the home, the peacock entered, and she took the peacock, and the peacock is standing there, and the peacock goes by Radha now, and the peacock starts to rub a little bit by Radha's feet. Kanha knows what he's doing. He's Lord of the world. Radha is sitting there and she's saying, but where are the other peacocks? And Lalita says, I didn't see any, only one. But you know what? Something is different about this one. Radha, this one only rubbing by your feet whole time. Something is wrong with this one. Kanha missed the love of Radha for all these hours. He's standing there and Radha looks and she's wondering, how come this one looks so different? And then she closed the eyes for a second and she's Radha Rani. She closed her eyes for a second and she saw the entire universe in front of her. And who's there? Instead of a peacock, she's seen Kanha looking at her. He's standing there with the basuri and he's smiling at her. And she realizes that the Lord will not stop. He will do what it takes to charm her. He will do what it takes to see her happy. He will do what it takes to make her smile. And when she realizes that this is not a peacock, but this is Lord Krishna incarnated, she smiles, she opens the eyes now, she comes back to reality and she says, Lalita, I just feel today I don't want to play with any peacocks anymore. Kanha, he has created the Maya. Look what is happening to him now. He is now in this Maya. He doesn't know what to do. The peacock walks around and Lalita says, okay, I understand. Come on, time to go. And the peacock is running his way around Lalita. And he's going by Radha. And he's going all sides. And Radha is laughing because she knows what is happening. And while she's laughing, Kanha can't take it anymore. He goes in a corner with the peacock and he opens all the feathers to show how beautiful he looks. It is said the coloration of the peacock feathers, when put together, it creates the Maya of the world. When you see a peacock, what do you look for? What do you look for? I didn't hear that. What do you look for? The feathers? You sure? One fellow tell me in Trinidad, Mom, when I see a peacock, I want to see how much meat I could get from that thing, boy. I said, I thought you want to see the feathers. He said, no, when the feathers open up, now you see the real meat there. I said, Jai Narayan. We want to see the feathers open, that's all. Because we want to see how beautiful it looks. The feathers, that coloration, it controls the Maya. It helps control the illusions of the world. That is why when you go by the Pundit sometimes and you want to get jare, they say, let me bring my peacock feather. Because it holds the energy of the Maya of the world. So you use it with mantras to take away that which is creating problems. Kanha, he steps away, he opens all the feathers. And then Radha looks and she smiles and she says, so beautiful. Lalita, let him be. Let him be. And when Kanha stands there, he wants to hold the hand of Radha, but he doesn't know how. So he decides this must stop now. So he starts to blow the tune. And when he blows the tune, and he blows that tune of the Basuri, it is said at that point, Radha stops and there's total silence. I want to tell you how lucky we are this morning. We are lucky because while we are speaking about the Katha of Shri Krishna and the Basuri, we have a live Basuri wala. Jai Shri Ram. Give him a little round of applause. And you know what's the best part? What's his name? Krishna. Panditji, while we are blessed to have you here this morning, Radha is listening to the tune of the Basuri. We want you to give us probably just 1 minute. Blow that Basuri for us. And while you will blow the Basuri, here, close your eyes for a second. Think of Krishna, not this Krishna. Bhagavan Krishna. And you think of Kanha. And today while we are listening to the message, listen to the tune. Think of our Lord. Do a little worship in your mind. Touch the feet of Prabhu. While our mother sits here, Ma, you are lucky and you're fortunate. Thank God for this moment. Everybody take a moment, and as we close the eyes, let us listen to the beautiful tune of the Basuri. It is only through that tune the magic of the Lord pervades. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Beautiful. Let's give a round of applause, Haji. On that day, Bhagwan Shri Krishna decided to show his form once more. And when he showed his form, Radharani smiled. She says, Kanha, I know you won't be able to stay away from me for too long. Kanha, even I missed you. Today, you blow you. I will dance for you now. It is that the Lord changed back his form from that of the peacock into his original form. And Lalita was there. And when she saw Radha smiling, she says, Radha, why did you punish Kanha so long when even you miss him? On that day, it is said Radha got up. And while she's about to dance for the Lord, listen. Jo nahi vyah kara de, teri gaiya nahi charao. आज के बार मेरी मैया तेरी दहली पर ना आओ. आएगा रे मजा अब जीता हार का. राधिका गोरी से विरज की चोरी से नैया परा दे मेरा प्यार. ओ राधिका गोरी से विरज की चोरी से नैया करा दे मेरा प्यार. Everybody बोलो जय श्री कृष्णा. राधे गोविंदा. चंदन की चौकी पर मैया तुझको बैठाऊं. अपने राधा से मैं चरण तेरे दबाऊं. भोजन मैं बनाऊंगा 56 प्रकार का. राधिका गोरी से धीरज की चोरी से मैया करा दे मेरा प्यार. राधिका गोरी से विरज की चोरी से मैया करा दे मेरा प्यार. राधिका गोरी से विरज की चोरी से मैया करा दे मेरा प्यार. मैया करा दे मेरा प्यार. मैया करा दे मेरा प्यार. राधा रानी की जय महारानी की जय. राधा रानी की जय महारानी की जय. राधा रानी की जय महारानी की जय. बरसाने वाली की जय जय जय. बरसाने वाली की जय जय जय. राधा रानी की जय राधा रानी की जय महारानी की जय. 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 वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. On that day, my dear friends, it is said Radha and Krishna, they were united once more. And when the Divine Mother Radharani looked at the Lord, she says, Prabhu, please next time don't stay so far from me. It is on that day when Prabhu Krishna looked at her, he reminded her what we said earlier. Never forget Patte patte me Radha. That connection between you and God should never change. Every one of us came in this world for a purpose. And throughout the journey of life and the purpose that we must take, God must be our constant. Whether we love Hanuman Baba, whether we love Shri Krishna, whether we love Adi Shakti Devi, Prabhu Shankar, whichever deity, that must be the constant and the driving force of your life. Today, my friends, as we are about to end our message, it is said while both of them will carry on with the pastimes and the leelas of the world, the kahanis of the world, it is said their teachings will live on. But it is up to us to practice, to carry out everything that we hear and we learn. And as I say, even if you don't pick up much, the energy in itself will transform you. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki! Now before we hand over to Panditji for the rest of this morning's proceedings, today we are here, and Mom, you're the highlight of this morning. Our wonderful Mom Rajmani. When I spoke to Mom, I was telling Mom, when she speaks or when somebody speaks, it tells a lot about you. And when the moment Mom spoke to me on the phone, I could just hear the voice, Sitaram Panditji. Calm, relaxing, composed. When you hear the voice, I could say, Mommy, don't get vexed. Well, I hope not. But today, Mom is here hosting this beautiful yajna along with her family to simply say, Lord, thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything that she has accomplished. Thank you for everything in her life. And today, while we are blessed to be in the company of a wonderful being and a wonderful soul like this, today we want to wish you a happy birthday in advance. And while we will wish you the happy birthday, we want to now dedicate a beautiful song to you. While we will do that, as you will be held at the highest as a mother not just to your children, but a mother in society who looks over so many people's lives. And Panditji mentioned how many people's homes and families that you take care of on your own sometimes and people don't know about it. As a Divine Mother, today when we celebrate your birthday, we want to wish you a happy birthday. We're going to dedicate this song to you, but I want to call Chalisa this time to give you an arti, to show you that respect, that love, as a mother should be respected. And if probably you had a little, I see you have that, the bowl there, wash your feet first. Wash your feet, dry the feet, take that blessing. Today is your blessing and the opportunity you will get to do this. Many people in the world would wish that their mothers are alive to get this opportunity. And while you're given the opportunity, Chalisa, you'll give her this as well. You place it around her after washing your feet. Panditji will guide you. Mom, we dedicate this beautiful fountain to you. Happy birthday. बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तुझे हजारों सा, ये मेरी है आरज़ू. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to Rajni, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mommy. Happy birthday to बेकरार होके. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's a happy, happy, happy day. It's a holy, holy, holy day. It's a happy, happy, happy day. It's a holy, holy, holy day to you. Let us all give a round of applause. Happy birthday to you, Mom. While we are showering the flowers of Ashirvad, ॐ मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णुर् मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय